not the most fire verse, not the most savage clapback, not the lyrical warfare that Akademiks wants to see. Just a woman, front row, smiling, and a man on stage who doesn't need to say another word. That was the trap. On the surface, it looked like Jay-Z had moved on. Billionaire, mogul, businessman too, evolved for rap beef, too wealthy to care. That is exactly what he needed them to believe. Because while Drake was putting shots on Iceman, while Kanye was making disgusting ableist comments about Jay's twins Rumi and Sir on X, while Nicki was keeping her publicly hostile energy alive for months, while Dame Dash was doing his media tour of contempt, while Akademiks was amplifying every single voice that came for Rock Nation, Jay-Z was doing something none of them accounted for. He was building the response, not tweeting it, not leaking it, not sending it through a feature verse, building it quietly, in the dark. And in March 2026, he did something even more calculated. He sat down with GQ, his first cover story in nearly a decade, and told the world he was not sure rap battles needed to exist anymore. He said the Kendrick-Drake beef went too far. He said word for word, "It's bringing people's kids in it. I don't like that." He's done. He's above it. He's moved on. That same interview had one more line that nobody paid enough attention to.
We love the excitement, and I love the sparring and the music you get. But in this day and age,
We played enough defense. 2026 is all offense. They heard elder statesman. They missed the loaded gun. He showed up to the Roots picnic with a new afro, his signature locks gone, replaced by something that immediately set social media on fire. The night before, he had played a secret warm-up show at a small venue in Fishtown, Philadelphia. Cryptic emails to fan club members only. He wore a hoodie the entire night. Nobody saw the new look until the main stage. 40,000 people. Belmont Plateau. He did not open with a classic. He walked straight to the mic and dropped a 4-minute acapella freestyle with the Roots. No beat, no safety net, just names. He had been keeping a list, and he read it out loud.
You don't know what you're doing. Sure.
Drake had rapped on Iceman's Janice STFU. "You boys got big on my name. That's big enough. We know how you Ogs rocking already. The jig is up." Drake said the jig was up. Jay-Z flipped it back on him from the stage of the Roots picnic in front of thousands of people. "The jig is up? Nah, I'm up 10. Wrong chart? Champ? You gotta look up again. Nace look up to Hav? I never looked up to them. Frack. Crackers got your publishing gangsta? Go talk tough to them. Don't talk success to me. You an asterisk, as is workers."
What's your white woman name? They gave me mine. It's Janice. I'ma tell you.
Yo, you niggas is
In perpetuity is how your contract is worded. Asterisk. Pause. Drake has 15 #1 albums. More than Jay ever held. He broke Jay's Billboard record. He came onto that ICMAN track feeling like the numbers proved something. Jay-Z looked at those numbers and said, "Wrong chart." Pause. Drake has 15 #1 albums. More than Jay ever held. He broke Jay's Billboard record. He came onto that Icy Man track feeling like the numbers proved something. Jay-Z looked at those numbers and said, "Wrong chart." The chart of publishing ownership looks different. The chart of who is still an employee at the peak of their commercial success. That chart looks very different. Jay put Drake's business reality on a live stage and let 40,000 people do the math. That is not a diss. That is a dissection. The voice shifted here. Something colder moved underneath the bars. "My children is some of them. Have you an asterisk as no shame? Y'all trying to get under my skin. I'll really get under your skin. Ask on how I'm playing." In March 2025, Kanye West, once Jay-Z's closest creative partner, made ableist, disgusting public comments on X about Jay and Beyoncé's twins. The man who made the blueprint with Jay. The man Jay mentored. The man who stood next to Jay on some of the biggest records in hip-hop history. That man chose to post about Jay's disabled children. Jay did not respond that day, or that month, or for over a year. He waited until he was standing on a stage in Philadelphia, and then he reminded Kanye, quietly, with barely contained force, that the mogul and the man from Marcy Projects exist in the same body, and that man does not forget what you said about his kids. Her Ken can't even pick they kid, enough of them. Kenneth Petty, Nicki Minaj's husband, is a registered sex offender. Jay used that single documented fact to end the conversation completely. No second bar, no elaboration. He stated the reality, let it land, and moved on. The restraint made it more brutal, not less. Dame Dash has spent years in interviews blaming Jay-Z for his financial downfall, relitigating Rockefeller, keeping old wounds open in every media appearance he could get. Years of it. Jay dismissed all of it in one breath and kept walking. The message was not in the words. The message was in what came after them. Quest introduced me to Jaguar. I don't know why I still **K with him. Jaguar Wright has spent years making damaging public allegations about Jay-Z and Beyoncé. Her entire platform, her entire access to the conversation. It was built on an introduction. That introduction came from Questlove. Jay traced it back to the origin, pulled the thread, let the crowd sit with what unraveled. He did not call her a liar. He did not defend himself. He simply pointed at where she came from and let the implication do the work. 4 minutes, then 32 songs. Then Meek Mill, Jasmine Sullivan, Bilal, State Property. 4 minutes, then 32 songs. Then Meek Mill, Jasmine Sullivan, Bilal, State Property. But the only thing hip-hop was talking about the next morning was those 4 minutes. Akademiks went on Twitter after the show and came completely undone. He called Jay-Z unhinged. He made Alzheimer's jokes. Then he did the thing that exposed everything. He personally messaged Tory Lanez, who Jay had also referenced in the freestyle, to tell him about the disses. He posted about it publicly. Let the games begin. A commentator, recruiting combatants. In real time, this was not a reaction. This was a collapse. And to understand why it collapsed so completely, you need the backstory. 2 months earlier, in April 2026, Akademiks had posted a critical breakdown of Jay-Z's GQ interview, calling Jay self-serving and hypocritical. He then claimed Roc Nation issued approximately 10 copyright strikes against his platforms and affiliated channels in what he believed was retaliation. He declared on a live stream, "It's war with Roc Nation at this point." He called Roc Nation a slimy place. So by May 30th, Akademiks was not a neutral commentator watching the Roots picnic. He was already in the war, on the losing side, and watching it get worse in real time. He mocked LeBron James for co-signing Jay. He attacked DJ Head for praising the performance. He swung at everything connected to that night. The comments section gave him nothing back. No wave of support. No flood of agreement. Just quiet dismissal. People treating the meltdown the way you treat someone who started arguing with their own reflection. Here is the psychology underneath all of it. Akademiks had built years of relevance inside the Drake orbit. His entire identity as a commentator was tied, consciously or not, to the narrative that Drake was untouchable and Jay-Z was a relic of a past era. When Jay-Z walked onto a stage and destroyed that narrative in 4 minutes of acapella, Akademiks did not just lose an argument, he lost the story he had been telling himself. And when the story you've been telling yourself falls apart that publicly, what comes out of a person in that moment is exactly what Philadelphia saw. LeBron James and Jay-Z's friendship is one of the most documented in sports and entertainment. But what connects them beneath the friendship is more interesting than the friendship itself. They share an enemy. Drake dissed LeBron on Eastman's Make Them Remember. Please stop asking about 23andMe. I'm a real N***A. He's not. That shot came because LeBron had publicly shown love to Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us, the song that dismantled Drake in the most devastating rap beef of the decade. So when Jay executed Drake on the Roots picnic stage, LeBron got on Instagram. He reposted a clip of Jay's freestyle, the section about someone's teeth tumbling out with steaming emojis and a shushing face. Then, in a separate post,
One is a joke. Public enemy #1, I've been ranked. The rock's not crumbling.
ITS the ROC, diamond emoji. Notice what he did not post. He did not share the clip of Jay directly targeting Drake. He kept his hands visibly clean. He was on record without being on the front line. Support without exposure. Allegiance without becoming the headline. That is one Instagram story calculated to the pixel. Jay-Z told GQ in March 2026 that rap battles had gone too far, that kids were being brought into it, that he wished it had not happened. Then Kanye made ableist comments about his kids. Then Drake filled an album with shots at him. Then the noise kept building. And Jay-Z said nothing public. He let them feel safe. He let the GQ interview do its job, positioning him as the man above it all, too evolved, too wealthy, too far removed from the street level of rap beef. He let that image settle, let it become the accepted truth. Then he walked out onto the Belmont Plateau with a new look, the Roots behind him, and 40,000 people in front of him. And he demonstrated something that nobody who was watching that night will ever fully shake. The silence was not peace, it was patience. And patience in the hands of someone who actually knows how to use it is the most dangerous weapon in the room. Every person who spent 6 years filling Jay-Z's silence with their noise woke up on May 31st in the same position, publicly addressed, publicly dismissed, and permanently written into the chapter where they underestimated the wrong man. Drake's 15 #1 albums did not protect him. Kanye's history with Jay did not protect him. Nicki's fan base did not protect her. Dame's years of interviews did not protect him. Akademiks' platform did not protect him. None of it protected any of them from 4 minutes. Because here is what dark psychology actually teaches you about power. Person who controls the timing controls everything.